Hello, welcome to our first episode. It's gonna get artsy, shining a spotlight on off Broadway theater. My name is Julia Genoveva, and I am here with my co-host.
Gus Ferrari.
And we're so excited. This is our first episode ever, and I want to give a big thank you for Laurie Sammeth and Susanne Pinedo for joining us today. Let's get right into it. So today we are talking about the second production of Sisters with Laurie Sammeth and Susanne Pinedo. And this is our second production, and this time around it's being directed by Gustavo Ferrari. So before
Easy job with great actors.
So just to give like a quick background, so this is the second time the Sisters is being produced. It was produced last year with the same lovely ladies in the Genoveva productions of Reunions, an anthology of 4 plays. So this time we're back again with the Secret Theater at the Queen Short Play Festival, and I'm so excited. I think this is my third time working with them, and it's always such a wonderful experience. So, hi Suzanne, hi Laurie, how are you ladies today?
Good. Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, my pleasure. So I just wanted to kind of ask you both, Laurie and Suzanne, about your background as actors, and now that this is our second run and you're playing these characters for the second time around, what are some differences from this run versus our run last year?
You can go first, Laurie.
Okay, well, I guess you want to first know about my background?
Yeah.
Okay, so I grew up in Chicago and my mother was an actress. So in our house, that was like the norm. But she did stop when we were born because, that's what you did then. But we went to the theater a lot, children's theater. And my sister and I would do like little performances for my parents. But I was really going to be a dancer. I started taking dance lessons young, and that was my goal. And then when I was about 16, I saw an ad in 17 magazine for this summer theater workshop. And it had a professional theater and it's like kind of like a school, but it was on Long Island. But amazingly, my parents let me go.
Incredible.
Yeah. So I was dancing, but then I got to be the White Queen in Alice in Wonderland and the maid in Skin of Our Teeth.
Oh my
And
God.
then I was hooked. Then I was hooked on acting. So I switched. I mean, I was still dancing, but my goal then became that, and that's what I majored in. And I did, do some stuff like I was like the Provincetown Playhouse and La Mama and stuff like that. And it was great. But then I too, when my daughter was born, stopped for a long time.
Wow.
We were living in New Jersey then, but then I went back and did, community theater there. And I've always really loved being on stage. I mean, I've done some film and commercials, but I love live theater.
Yeah.
And I also I find, well, nowadays I play a lot of moms and grandmas and stuff, but I find like every character is different. So you can always, get stuff out of it. And so I really enjoy that.
So now that you're playing Deborah and Sisters for the second time, I think our viewers would like to know a little bit about this character and just like what's different this time around versus when we did it last summer. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I'm the older sister, and I've been around the block and all that. But I think what's really different and nice this time is that the character of the mother is more nuanced, I'd say. You find out kind of more about her, and the relationships. I mean, the connection between me and my sister Sophia feels stronger because you find out that they've both had kind of similar experiences, but then also that I don't want to give things away, but I feel like
Yeah.
I have a more positive outlook or something than I did in the version before.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you know, and even though I went through all the same stuff, you know, I still, you know, you find out that I also had this great, like, I guess, I don't know, we'll call it love, but whatever. And I feel like it makes it more, kind of more hopeful.
Yeah.
The relationship between my sister and I is also, it's, you know, being certainly sisters and friends and all that,
Yeah.
but it's also like we're gonna hopefully find out things that are gonna be healing to us, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I do have another question for you, Laurie. So, you know, Deborah is not a 20-year-old, not a 30-year-old, not a 40-year-old. So you playing this character, you know, in the age that she is, does that like feel empowering to you, like to represent, like, you know, women of your age range? Like what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, especially I love the way that she's written because it's the way I think too. It's like, you know, don't get so focused on age, you know, and that things are really, you know, it doesn't mean other things aren't possible, you know, and stuff like that. And that's a nice thing about theater too. It doesn't matter. You never age out of it, you know, which is nice. But yeah,
True.
I like the way older women are portrayed through Deborah in this play.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. And before, you know, we talked to Susanne Pinedo, I want to say that the monologue that Deborah has, which I'm not gonna give it all away, but I kind of wrote it a little bit from my point of view because I turned the big 4-0 last year, and I just got to a point of my life where I just like I know who I am, and like I'm able to speak my mind. So I kind of wrote that for Deborah, but of course she's, you know, in a different age group than I am. But I'm like, why would really be empowering for someone Deborah's age to, you know, like feel that way. So thank you, Laurie, and thank you for your fabulous, fabulous
Well,
acting.
thank you for the play. I really
my
love your
God.
writing. It's wonderful.
Thank
Great
you.
to be part of it. Thank
Oh
you.
my God, you're so sweet. Thank you. And now I'm handing it over to Susanne Pinedo. Just the same questions. If you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and your feelings towards your character of Sophia.
Well, thank you again. Thank you so much for having us. I am originally from Miami, born and raised. I've always loved theater. I did a lot of children's theater growing up. And then in college, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I just knew always wanted to be an actress and a writer as well. So I did both in college. I did acting and playwriting, and I majored in acting in college, my BFA.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's my degree. And
I think Susanne froze a little bit there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She'll be back soon.
Yeah, well, we're waiting for her to come back. Gus, you have. Oh,
I
there
think
she is.
she's back.
Coming
She's
back.
back.
Okay. Technology, guys. Are you back with us, Suzanne?
oh, did I leave? Oh, I'm
You
so
froze
sorry.
a little bit. But you were talking about your degree. You have a degree in acting, background in playwriting, which is awesome.
Yes, yes. And when I was 32 years old, I decided if I don't move to New York now, then I will never move to New York. So I hopped in my car and drove to New York City without any type of plans. And
So brave. That is so brave.
I don't know if it was brave, but it was just something that I had to do because
Yeah.
if you don't do things that make you happy, or at least if you don't try, then you'll never know.
Oh, you follow
Um,
your heart, which is amazing. That takes a lot of courage. It's not easy to
Thank
do.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much. In reference to your amazing play, which I just
Thank
love
you.
so much, I play Sophia, the younger sister. For me this time around, so one of the most fun, interesting things to do a play again is you just now, the second time, you have an opportunity to, in my very humble opinion, explore and play with things that perhaps last time you didn't. And this time I've tried really hard to just really explore and discover new things, and I'm discovering all sorts of things about her. She has a lot of emotional stuff going
Mm-hmm.
on. Just a lot of past trauma that I think she really, really thought that she had closed that chapter in her
Yeah.
life.
Mm-hmm.
And then this play happens and she's realized, okay, I have a lot of work to do and I need to figure this out.
Yeah, like it's not really behind her. She thought it was, but it's like coming back to haunt her in a way. And then I have another question for you, Suzanne. I know this play is a drama, it's not a comedy, but you know, in your acting, in your process, as you are finding new things in this character, do you think there's some room for some, like, not a lot, but a tiny bit of humor, or like, and if you do, like, what are one or two of the moments where you think it could be a little funny, maybe?
Oh, I definitely think there's a couple of moments because although yes, there's a lot of emotional stuff going on, I actually am approaching it from a humorous point of view.
Awesome, awesome.
Is I think you kind of have to when things get so heavy,
Mm-hmm.
there is humor in heavy
Yeah,
moments. There is
yeah,
humor in really difficult moments. And yeah, there are definitely moments in the play. I don't want to reference any specific moments because I don't want to
yeah.
ruin anything, but there's definitely moments in the play when I'm saying things to Deborah and Deborah saying things to me that are really funny.
Yeah.
Are really funny. And there are moments that I kind of catch myself so I don't crack up.
Oh my God, that is so funny. um, Gus, before I put you in the hot seat, do you have any questions for these wonderful ladies and super talented actors that you want to ask them?
No, all my questions to them are happen at rehearsal, and
Oh,
because I like to hear their input on how the character is feeling at at any specific time, and usually I just let them answer themselves, you know, because I don't want to influence or be like, well, you should be feeling this way, or you should be doing this, or your character feels this way. Like my question is, do you think she feels this way? And if she does, she does, and if she doesn't, she doesn't, you know.
yeah, that's awesome that you're saying that. I love to work with those types of directors that really let that, like, it's a collaboration. It's not like I say you do this and you do that, you know, it's really like you're all a team, and, you know, I mean, you're guiding them, of course, because you're the director, but at the same time, you're giving them that leadway to explore and not feel like, uh-oh, if I try this, it's gonna be like, you know, upset. So that's really like a very wonderful thing that you're saying.
I mean, I don't think it's effective. I mean, I don't think it's effective to tell if I have to tell the actor, well, your character feels this way, then we probably got the wrong actor. So this is not a problem here. But you know, it is good to ask those questions in order to give layers to the emotional content of whatever is happening at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. So, Gus, please tell our viewers about yourself, how you got into showbiz, and just your experience with this production.
So right, so I was always like an artistic person, drawn to anything artistic, drawing, singing, whatever. I never thought about acting until I pursued a musical career that kind of just didn't pan out the way I wanted. So I'm like, well, you know, this is kind of, I took it as far as I can. And I did get a small recording contract for one song that never got released because the owner of the label like died,
Oh my
unfortunately.
God.
So, but anyway, so I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I saw an ad in the paper looking for background. Back in the day, they were called extras, and so I said, well, this sounds fun. They feed you and they pay, and you just, you know, hang around a movie set.
Yeah.
And so I can say that my start was in film. even if I was in a crowd of people. So after doing it for a while, I started meeting like real actors that actually were actors, and they performed in plays and movies and so forth. And they said, well, if this really interests you, maybe you should take a class or two and, get involved in doing some theater first, and so I started doing that. That was about 30 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so
It's
I
been a minute
took
then.
classes. I took my classes. When I ran out of money to take classes, I got involved in as much community theater off of Broadway as I could to
Of course.
continue gaining experience. In some cases, I just had to like offer my services as a stage carpenter, just so that I'd be like, hey, let me get a couple of lines and a walk on role, and I'll build some stuff for you, and I'll work backstage, carrying water for the actors or whatever.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's how I had to do it. But it was rewarding.
So since you've been in this industry for so long and you're like a veteran of theater, a veteran of this, film, stage, everything, and, and you're directing, and I have to add that Gus is also a very talented playwright. And, you wear so many hats. So like, what is some advice if you can give to actors that have been doing this for a couple of years or are just coming up? What is some advice that you can give them?
Oh, wow. That's heavy.
We have time.
Do it if you really love it. Do it because you love doing it. Don't do it because you want to be on the red carpet. I mean, because it's probably not going to happen. You may get a very satisfying acting career, uh, achievement wise. It may not be financially rewarding. You may even be able to make a living at it, but not any more of a stylish lifestyle that you would working as an IT person or being the manager of a Home Depot or something. You might make a living, and that should be what drives you. If you're gonna be in it just to be famous or to be noticed, like that, you're gonna be disappointed. And maybe your thing should be, I don't know, being an influencer or doing something outrageous just for clicks, and then you'll be famous, not for the right reasons. But if you really want to get into acting, be sober about it. Don't think this is all about fame. It's work. It's work. I don't think it's like brain surgery, but it takes more dedication and discipline than people think. It's not all about like just being drunk on the set or showing up whenever you want, or you have people like, bringing you stuff and they call you Mr. This and Mr. That. It's many times you have to wear many hats. You have to, put the set on the stage and sweep the stage afterwards and make sure you bring your own props from home on the train. It takes discipline and dedication and love for what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And just to piggyback a little, piggyback on what Gus just said. Also, if you are following that advice and you're in it for the right reasons, there's gonna be so much rejection, because there's so many actors, there's so many projects, and you're never gonna just book everything. So on that note, I would just say, like, don't be discouraged. The more you stick with it, like, you'll see like opportunities will come. So just stick with it and don't lose faith. That's just my one little advice I'm throwing in there. And so Gus, now you're directing Sisters. Thank you so much for directing my play. Talk about your experience. I know you're in the middle of rehearsals right now. And last year, I directed it. This time around you are. So like, how do you feel about it? And are you doing anything different than our run last year?
Well, I didn't. I like what I saw the last time, and I saw that both Laurie and Susanne were they were in the right place emotionally and as far as who the characters are, how the characters feel, and so forth. So I didn't think it was necessary to like reinvent the wheel. I saw what they did, and it was great. So I'm like, well, how can we kind of like breathe new like energy on something that's been kind of dormant for a little while? They haven't performed the show. They need to relearn the lines, to a degree. So I figured like let's make this organic and fun, to the point where like I want the audience to feel basically like they're in the coffee shop with these two sisters eavesdropping on a real conversation.
Ooh.
That's my focus on you know, right now as far as the play goes. They're there as the characters, so the only thing that I can do here and there is like, you know, throw in like a question about this, or just come up with something that I'm like, well, you know, like something like a little, did you think about this? Did you think about that? Maybe to add another layer of perspective to where the actors are coming from when they think about their mother, or when they think about their
Mhm.
relationship. But
Yeah.
there's really not, I mean, the show is basically the way it was from the perspective of the actors and their dynamics, just little things here and there to make it fresh for them, and the audiences that haven't seen it, you know, they're gonna think it was just as good and honest and thought-provoking as it was the last time.
Awesome, awesome. And on that note, I just want to talk briefly about the rewrites that I did this time around. So this is first of all, a little bit of the synopsis. So Deborah and Sophia meet at a coffee shop, like Gus mentioned. They're strangers. However, they find out that they are half sisters. They have different fathers. So, you know, as you can tell, they're from different generations. And as you see the play, they're from different walks of life, totally different worlds. And, you know, this meeting that I'll just tell you that Deborah really wants and Sophia is resistant. We will see throughout the play if somehow those differences can bring them together, or is it really like they will never see each other again? And in the rewrites that I did, so I was thinking of making this 10-minute play a full length, but I didn't want it to be redundant, and I didn't want it to be too stretched out, because I mean, how long can you be in a coffee shop for? You know, I would have had to change the set or things like that. So instead, what I did is certain moments that I felt could be expanded, I kind of focused in on that. And I really have to say thank you to Gus and to the cast, you know, for being very open to that. And in those moments that I have added to really help to bring out something new. Because I really encouraged it. Like I told Gus, please, like, you're the director, you know, I trust you. I trust Laurie and Suzanne. You know, this is like a very, very, these are pros. This is like a very talented production team. So I'm like, you guys, here you go, you know, and I'm open to anything new that you want to do. So I attended the first rehearsal, and I see like that has been happening. So I want to thank you, Gus, Laurie, and Suzanne, for really just taking a leap of faith on that, and kind of just going with the moment and finding new things. That's really quite incredible. And Laurie and Suzanne, I think I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Gus as well. Like, what advice do you have for actors who've been doing this for a little while or are new? Like, what are some pearls of wisdom that you can give them? Laurie, you can go first, please. I'm actually curious.
Okay, well, actually, it's not, this is one thing, and this is for, I guess, older actors too. I saw this card a couple years ago, a greeting card at Trader Joe's that I framed. I'll show you.
I want to see this. Oh my God.
Yeah. Can you see? I don't know. It actually says, it's never too late to be who you might have been.
Oh my
God. I think I find it scary, but also very motivating. It's like, yeah, you don't want to have regrets, you know, and yes, it's still possible, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I say, you know, I mean, not that I'm always in an upbeat mood, but you gotta kind of never give up. And yes, it is hard because there's a lot of rejections and ups and downs and things like that. But every day really is could be, you know, a new possibility, something coming up. So
yeah.
So that's a lot of it, I think.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy that you have that frame. That's like daily inspiration for you.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it is.
That's really wonderful. Suzanne, what are your thoughts on this?
Anyone who wants to be an actor, if you're at the beginning of your journey, get training. training is so important, number one. Number two, please understand that this is very much a business like any other. I completely agree with Gus, what Gus was saying. If anyone wants to do this for the fame, for the fortune, wrong industry.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And yeah, it is a business. And I think, being professional is so important. Like being, things that you think, I mean, I don't think, but I know some people are like, oh, it's no big deal, but they are, like being on time, being prepared, just being pleasant, being a team player. Like I think that's so important in this industry. And I feel like when an actor displays those qualities, and they're talented, and top of that, it's just like you stand out from others that may not have those qualities. So I think that point of it's a business, it's important to remember, Suzanne. So thank you. That's a really good point. And I hope everyone enjoyed our first episode with the Sisters production team, Laurie Sammeth, Susanne Pinedo, director Gus Ferrari. So let me give you the dates and times so you can please come and check out the show. And also I want to say one thing about the Secret Theater. They are just a hub for artists, playwrights, directors, actors. Right now, in this upcoming festival, there's programs A through H. So there's like a plethora of talented directors, playwrights, actors. So if for some reason you cannot check out our play because, people work and have things to do, I hope you can check out the others because they always give artists so many opportunities and I love working with them. But however, with that being said, I do hope you come and check out Sisters. So we are in program F. We open Sunday, February 25th at 7 p.m. And then we have a show on Saturday, March 2nd, 3 p.m. And then 2 performances after that, Friday, March 8th, 7 p.m. Wednesday, March 20th at 7 p.m. at the Secret Theater. It's in Woodside, Queens. I'm posting all the info so you can see it below. And I hope you enjoyed our show. And please, this program is all about supporting off-Broadway theater. So if you have a project coming up, get in touch with us. We want to talk to you. Gus, do you have any last words before we sign off?
No, you said it. So come see the show, and you will be I don't know, surprised, but you'll be pleased. It's a great show. It's really, I don't direct whatever because just to say, well, I directed it, and so I can put it on my resume. I have to be interested in the show, and the show interested me when I didn't direct it. I was just watching it. So I thought that I could bring something to it, even if it wasn't like a drastic change. So and that's what I'm doing it. So check it out.
Yeah, I think you guys, Laurie and Suzanne, you're all bringing many, I don't want to say old, but what we did before, plus new things, and more new things than before, which is wonderful. And I can't wait to see the show. So I hope to see you at the Secret Theater, and I'll see you in our next episode. If you enjoyed our show, please make sure to click on that subscribe button at the end of the video. So look out for all details below of Sisters Program F at the Secret Theater. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Gus. I will talk to you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.